Hello again, everyone. Welcome to Falls Count Anywhere on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. Erik Dunn here from Bridgewater, Massachusetts. Happy end of September to all of you out there, because next week will be October 1st. Wrestlepalooza is in the books. And yeah, ESPN isn't too happy. Yeah, ESPN is actually having some anger issues with WWE because that pay-per-view did not live up to the expectations. It didn't. So throughout our time together, break down the predictions with Ron and the results of who we picked. Uh, what happened on Raw for Monday night, and who's on the card for Crown Jewel. That'll all get tied into Erik's thoughts in a way. But a very cool announcement that happened back on Saturday at Wrestlepalooza that I'll mention as well. And it looks like one of the matches that's going to be on the card for Crown Jewel in Perth was demanded by the fans and by the wrestlers themselves, and Triple H had no problem making it happen because apparently he wanted to see it too. I'll explain that for you throughout our time together. And I'll give you guys a quick side note too at the end when I'm done with my wrestling talk. So you can find me every Wednesday at 5 on these platforms: YouTube, Kick, there you go, and Rumble. I was waiting for the thing to go away, as well as on Twitch at RI_broadcasting. So 4 platforms live every Wednesday at 5. YouTube, Kick, Rumble, and Twitch. Hope you all are enjoying yourselves, enjoying me. And then it'll get podcasted up afterwards on these platforms: Red Circle, Spotify, TuneIn, and iHeart. I'll say it again: Red Circle, Spotify, TuneIn, and iHeart at RI Broadcasting. And then also follow us on these platforms as well on our socials: U42, Odyssey, Spacehead, Blue Sky, MeWe, TikTok, Parler, and Patreon. U42, Odyssey, Spacehead, Blue Sky, MeWe, TikTok, Parler, and Patreon at RI Broadcasting. For those watching us on Twitch right now live at RI_broadcasting, thank you very much for being a part of it. And then if you also want to be a financial supporter for our program and try to get involved with us financially, you can help support us at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net so you can join the family. RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. This broadcast of Falls Count Anywhere is the exclusive property of Veritone Productions, Ron Rico, and Rhode Island Broadcasting for the use of our audience. Any publication, reuse, or redistribution by anyone is not prohibited and is given express consent to be shared and is greatly appreciated. So, before I go into the card here, I have got a very cool announcement to say. Stephanie McMahon is going to be the first inductee into the 2026 Hall of Fame, and it was announced by The Undertaker, who made a surprise appearance at Wrestlepalooza. He made a special appearance with his persona, the American Badass, rode his motorcycle to the ring after asking Stephanie, "Are you ready?" That she will be the first inductee of the 2026 class. As daughter of former chairman Vince McMahon, Stephanie wore many hats as part of the company from '98 to '23. She started off as an account executive and a receptionist in 1998 before making her first on-screen appearance in '99 as part of Vince McMahon's feud with The Undertaker back in the Attitude Era. She became a wrestler and won the Women's Championship in 2000 while still working behind the scenes as a director, Senior Vice President of Creative Writing, Executive Vice President of Creative Development and Operations, and Chief Brand Officer. McMahon continued to make frequent appearances and was involved in some notable angles. One of them was who she was involved with became reality when she dated and married pro wrestler Paul Triple H Levesque in 2003. In 2019, McMahon's appearances became more sporadic as her role behind the scenes grew. She was elevated to interim chairwoman and CEO following an investigation by the board of directors into allegations of sexual misconduct against her father. She resigned from the position in 23, but has made periodic appearances for the company despite not holding a position at WWE. The 26th Hall of Fame will take place during WrestleMania weekend in Vegas during April. A huge congrats to Stephanie. She has been a pioneer for a lot of women in WWE, and I think that is a really cool thing to do. I mean, I guess it makes sense now because you're no longer with. I guess it makes sense because she's no longer with the company, but I'm very happy to see that, and I think that's well deserved in my opinion. But anyway, Wrestlepalooza though, that in my opinion was probably that was probably the best part of Wrestlepalooza. Here's what happened in order. And Ron, get your predictions ready. At first, I thought this was going to be the main event, but it wasn't. John Cena versus Brock Lesnar, the final chapter, was the opener. Did you and I both pick John? I'm pretty sure I did, but did you pick John as well? Or did you pick Brock? John. All right, so you and I both lost that one. So before the bell rang, Paul Heyman arrived to announce Brock, seemingly back as the Beast's advocate. John had three attitude adjustments in succession, but Lesnar kicked out. Then, after attempting a five-knuckle shuffle, Lesnar nailed six F5s onto John, an absolute decimation. And then he F5 the referee and Cena once again for good measure. Unfortunately, that was only less than a 10-minute match. I thought it deserved a lot more than that. Um, that was sad for that to happen like that. But I'll get to John too after this um, recap. And then the second match was the Vision against the Vision against the Usos. I believe John. I believe Ron. You and I picked Breaker and Bronson, right? I think we picked the Vision, not the Usos. 1-1. Yep. LA Knight oversaw officiating duties. He was loose with the rules, allowing both teams to brawl outside of the ring and use a variety of weapons against each other, which normally you were not able to do in a tag team match unless there was no DQ. And speaking of which, it looks like Jey Uso might be turning heel at some point. Unfortunately. And then Stephanie Vaquer defeated Io Sky to be the women's world champion. I believe I picked Stephanie. Ron, can you confirm? We both did. All right, 2-1. She performed that Wicked Dragon screw on her knee, planted the Devil's Kiss, and then hit a spiral tap. And she won it with her dad in the stands. Such a cool thing. Now, Ron, I think I got you on this one. This was the shocker in my opinion. CM Punk and AJ Lee defeated Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I think you picked Seth and Becky, right? So that means so far I am two, three, four. So far I'm three. I'm three out of four. You're 2 out of 4. AJ made Becky tap to the Black Widow, and I didn't think she was going to tap, but that was an amazing match in my opinion. I think that was probably the match of the night in my eyes. It was a great fight, and AJ got such a great crowd reaction. Everyone was engaged with that match. It was a great match in my opinion. That probably was the match of the night in my eyes. And then the main event, Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre for the undisputed WWE Championship. I believe we both picked Cody, I think. Yes? So that means, Ron, I went 4 out of 5. You went 3 out of 5. So that means I got enough. That means I got one up on you. So we'll update the standings right now. So McIntyre was going to go for a Claymore through the side announce table on Cody. He moved out of the way, damaging his shin. McIntyre went for a Claymore. He missed. Cody hit the crossroads, and he retained. So, Ron, what are the standings right now? Are we actually tied? I believe going into it. Oh, oh, okay. So we're not tied yet. You still got a half. Yeah, you still got a point on me. All right. Nope. Okay. Wow, we are tied. We are tied with 3 PLEs left in the month. 3 PLEs left in the month. Well, actually, no. Maybe we shouldn't count. Well, no. I guess we'll count Cyanide's main event too. I guess. So I'll think we're done just yet. But folks, we're tied in the standings now. 43 and 31 are both our records. So we'll see how that goes. Raw Monday night. Cody and Seth had a pretty interesting bar remark to open up the show. They're going to be battling for the Crown Jewel title at the event in 2.5 weeks. And Cody, in my eyes, is still going to be the quarterback of this company. Seth is not. Because at the end of the day, Cody didn't have any help behind him. And in my eyes, Cody is the quarterback of this company. He's leading WWE still. And let's also keep in mind, too, that Seth Rollins is 0-3 in his career against Cody. And he made sure to remind him of that. Penta and the War Raiders defeated the New Day and Grayson Waller in a six-man tag team no DQ match. 70 Bakay learned that she will meet the winner of the WWE Women's Triple Threat Women's Title match against Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, and Nia Jax at Crown Jewel for the Crown Jewel title for the women's side. Becky defeated Roxanne Perez. Rusev defeated JD McDonough. Easy. Jey Uso defeated LA Knight. So, despite Jimmy's plea with his brother to help Knight against a 2-on-1 attack, Jimmy refused and left Jimmy to save Knight with a steel chair. I'm telling you, Jay's probably going to turn heel at this point. I don't think he's going to remain a face, and I hate that, unfortunately, but that's just the way it goes. And then lastly, Asuka is a full-blown heel. Io is no longer a part of Asuka. So it looks like Io and Rhea are going to be probably a team together. Now, Crown Jewel. This will get tied into my thoughts. Listen to this match. John and AJ are finally going to get what they want. The fans wanted it. They demanded it. So did I. And for one last time, it's going to be the GOAT against the phenomenal one in Perth. They've collided in several historic battles, Money in the Bank in 16, SummerSlam 16, Royal Rumble 17, and Fastlane 18. For years, the WWE Universe has been clamoring for one more match. Now, the epic John Cena farewell tour will include a phenomenal stop when he takes on AJ, who is armed with a renewed aggression that is sure to make their matchup an instant classic and one to remember. Absolutely. I am stoked for that match. I am beyond excited for this match. And the reason why I say that is just simply because of the fact that I think a lot of us have been waiting for it. A lot of us have wanted it. And now that we got it, the only thing I see is how well are they going to go on to deliver. But for next week's broadcast, guys, SmackDown from Friday, Raw on Monday, updates about Crown Jewel. If I have it, I'll pass it along to you. So that's the wrestling talk. We'll give you guys something just real fast about Boston Sports Talk for just a quick second. Because also, Ron and I, we also have another platform together, 990wbob.com, based out of Providence. Um, he, I believe he has a couple officials over there. I have I'm Done with Sports. That will be live every Wednesday at 10 o'clock when it goes on air. Um, and then podcast it up the following day. I'm still Red Sox heavy. You know, 5 games left. This is it for them. I don't think there's any question in my mind that they're going to clinch. They're probably going to be starting off on the road. But the injury report I found was that the only way Rowan Anthony comes back to the lineup is if they get to the ALDS. That's going to be a tall task. But I think the Sox team has got a lot more guts, and maybe they can use their brains to get farther. Patriots, on the other hand, have got to clean up their act. The turnovers are a problem. You know, the fumbles was an absolute disgrace. You know, Ron and I were talking about this before I went on air. I think that Ramondre Stevenson's probably going to be a third down back going forward. Was probably going to get benched, at least for this Sunday. I hope that the kid, Trayvon Henderson, is actually used a lot more of. I hope he gets the first team reps because I think that he should play and start in the lineup on Sunday. I mean, if we can get to 2-2 and get our second win that fast, I mean, that's a big thing and a big deal for us. Like, get to 500 because they begin a 3-game road trip to kick off October. So, we'll definitely have to see what happens there. Celtics, Bruins, nothing yet on them right now. They're still trying to organize their preseason stuff and get that squared away. Um, but we are now in the home stretch, guys. October is the month that we see what a team is really made of, especially for the Red Sox. This is the month that, October is the month where we see the Sox hopefully back in the playoffs. Patriots beginning their second month. Celtics and Bruins get ready to start their new year. And we officially are now in the fall, getting ready for the Halloween season for the month. And to all of you guys out there, stay tuned. And I hope you guys really do enjoy the week. Please enjoy the weekend. I know that for the Sox, there's going to be some pretty damn good theater, especially with the weekend series against the Tigers, because I mean, like you never know. But definitely enjoy it, y'all, because this season is definitely a special year for the Sox, in my opinion. I mean, no one thought they would ever be in playoff contention at all. They sit under 80 wins. They have a chance to get 90 and clinch. I think they can, and I think they're going to do it. I mean, I see no question in my mind that I think that the Sox is a dark horse to advance far into the playoffs. It's just going to come down to how the offense can swing the bat in our bullpen and just our rotation and our injuries. But guys, next week is October 1st. I'll chat with you then, and we'll have everything there for you. On behalf of me behind the scenes, Ron Rigo, Erik Dunn saying so long and thank you from my home in Bridgewater, Massachusetts. This has been a presentation of Falls Count Anywhere on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. I'll talk to you guys in October. Thank you for watching as well as listening.